Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm very happy to be here with you. Good evening, Yanis. Do you get a sound coming? I hope you do. Today I would like to speak about existence as an unconditional one. Good morning, Abigail. I hope you have the sound coming. Our topic today will be existence as hello Yanis, as unconditional one. Our existence is unconditional. Sometimes there is existence, or at the moment there's existence that goes through bodies and we meet here in time and space, but existence is unconditional. Do we understand that? Existence is unconditional. We were educated that if you would be, let's say, a good child, if you do something good in class, you get a reward. If you don't behave well, like on duality. Or we were educated there is a way to grow corn or avocado. And what happens today is just someone drop a seed of avocado and suddenly the avocado grows. Yes, without a preparation, without conditions that we learn in school or we picked in life, this is the way or the right way to grow avocado. Suddenly the avocado grows and the Swedish ivy grows without former conditions. Existence is unconditional. And with this notion comes a lot of peace. Good morning, Cindy. We speak about existence, that existence is unconditional. Life exists without any conditions. Therefore, we can relax, inhale, exhale, without a notion that there is a policeman at the end of the road or judging element somewhere in the sky or on a star, yes, that will judge us. There isn't any judging, so to speak, entity, yes, out there in some of the stars or in the middle. There isn't, yes. This is all those conditions people along history brought with them. Oh, this is how people speak about life. So, and today it brings me to a special topic, which will be how the Canaanites, good morning Aniola, how the ancient Canaanites used to worship the dead or the past. Aniola, good morning. Do you get a sound coming? Cindy? Yanis, do you get a sound coming at the moment? If you hear us, say yes, that we shall know. Erin, good morning, Erin. So what used to be, and I would like to go into this Canaanite worship. The Canaanites, the ancient Canaanites, used to worship the past. So much so that they used to drink a lot of wine, yes, to celebrate the dead ancestors. In their belief, the dead ancestors becoming gods. And part of this celebration of the dead ancestors becoming gods is to drink a lot of wine. Their god is used to called in Hebrew Marzeach. Marzeach, this is their god, Marzeach, and somebody who drinks wine at the house for this kind of worship or idolatry, the place of which they used to celebrate this is called Bet Marzeach. Bet Marzeach, the house of Marzeach. There is no sound on Discord. Cindy, Erin, do you get a sound coming? Yanis, do you get a sound? Because here, let's say I hear the sound here coming. Yes, OBS says there is a sound coming. So at the moment, sound is coming according to what I see here on the screen. Try to see if you can hear it through YouTube. So the ancient Canaanites used to worship. Yes, this is kind of idolatry. Yes, to worship the dead ancestors. Their dead ancestors, yes, in their dead moment, I mean, when they're gone, they become gods and they're worshipping the dead. You cannot hear at all, Yanis? Is there anyone who is able or capable of hearing here from Discord? Is there anyone? Okay, no sound. Yanis, no sound. Cindy, no sound. Abigail, no sound. And Niola, no sound. And Cindy, no sound at all. Okay? So I will log out and I will enter. Yes, I will drop this call and you will have to, once I drop the call, we have to return. Yes, we'll have to return. If I drop or when I drop the call, there is, yes, I'll try again and see if it is coming. So I will log out from the call. And when I log out, the class will drop and then we shall log in all of us together. So 1 second, please. Okay? I'm trying this now. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, Erin. Do you get a sound coming from Discord? Cindy, do you get a sound coming at the moment? Yeah, better. Better. Very good. So let's see. Yes, the friends will come now and I hope that they will have a sound coming as well. Good morning, Erin. Good morning, Cindy. There's sound coming and this is quite excellent. We were speaking about the fact that existence is unconditional. Yes, good morning, Cindy. Very happy to see you here, Erin and Cindy. Yes, very good. So please say when it starts and you don't get a sound coming, yes, don't be shy or ashamed or whatever. Just say that there's no sound. Yes, and I can log out and bring the class back again. And this is how we fix it usually, when it's simple like that. Eniola, do you get a sound coming from Discord? This is check. Sound check. Eniola, do you get a sound coming? Thank you. So now it seems that everybody has a sound. Do you have any questions? I saw that Erin wrote a question about the book of Job. Do you have questions that you would like to start before we start this conversation? Is something on your mind that you would like to ask or to say or to share? Please open your microphone, raise your hand and open your microphone, unmute it and speak freely. Our topic today was existence, that existence is unconditional. Yes, our existence is unconditional. We were educated, if you'll be a good boy, you'll get this reward or that. Existence is unconditional. Life is unconditional. This is the topic of our conversation today. And another, in a way, I would like to speak about the Canaanites' foreign worship. The ancient Canaanites used to worship the dead. Yes, because we speak about existence, that existence is unconditional. In addition to this, the Canaanites used to worship the dead. Once their ancestor died, they used to celebrate their death in drinking wine and crowning them as gods. The process of which they used to turn their ancestors to God, or the fest that they used to celebrate their ancestors as God, or their God is called Marzeach, and the house or in which they used to drink this wine or to celebrate the ancestors as gods is Bet Marzeach, the house of Marzeach. Why do I bring this topic? Because it is very common, yes, in a human phenomenon to worship the past, to worship the dead past. People can quote people that lived 500 years ago, 600 years ago, 2,000 years ago, if there's like any kind of letters or scripture, and it becomes a stone. So there is a saying, a living God, yes? And while people are worshipping the past, they themselves become fossils. They are unable to stream what is coming at the moment, like the wife of Lot. This is a foreign worship. To say that the past time, let's say, many people have, romantic feelings about what happened in the 60s, in the 1960s. They have this kind of a dreamland. It was the best period of life of humanity or whatever, and they're stuck there. So this is like to worship, yes, foreign God. Yes, because it does not exist. What exists is alive. And what people make in their mind is some kind of a notion. And this is a foreign because in a way that there are two, that there's existing, the life exists, and suddenly there's a picture of someone who worshipped this 1960s also. But there aren't any two. This is non-duality. And people sit sometimes with friends and glorify the past, and the past can be like a few decades ago, or they can glorify the house of their parents or their childhood, and they sit and they speak, but in a way the moment their mind is describing something that happened in the past, they check out, they're not here. Or they describe a certain, in a way, scenario in the future. Yes, both of those is not being in a moment. There is a verse in Song of Songs that says, "He brought me to the house of wine, Hevi'ani el bet hayayin, Hevi'ani el bet hayayin." He brought me to the house of wine, Hevi'ani el bet hayayin, Vediglo, and his diglo, his flag, Alai ahava. He brought me to to the house of wine, and his flag that he is holding is love. So there is a difference between Bet Yain, the house of wine, just to drink with friends, to have this sense of together, sharing a moment, and there is a difference between Bet Yain, the house of wine, and Bet Marzer. While drinking and people are getting wild, yes, while they're drinking wine or alcohol, and they get obsessed or they become ridden with something which is not existing. So there is a difference between Bet Yain, the house of wine, drinking with friends, and Bet Marzer, this Canaanite worship, to worship the dead, not just the dead ancestors or the old days, any kind of perception or concept, yes, frozen in time, which is not existing in the moment. Like you say a snapshot of something and you glorify it, like this is the truth, or this is life. This is a foreign worship. Every foreign worship tries to frame something, to take a snapshot, to put it on the wall and say this is what life is about. Yes? Life is so open. Life and reality is always open, cannot be closed. Once I was visiting friends. They lived in the north and then they moved to another place. I came to visit them, and I never imagined that I would see something like this in my life. There was a little house, and there was like an entry and a living room, and on the wall were like three giant, not giant, but quite like, let's say 60, 70 centimeters, yes? Three, not posters, but paintings or pictures of three old grandparents on the wall with beards, with frame. It just it took the whole space of the living room, and there were like Bordeaux, deep, wine curtains. Everything was very dark. And on the wall in the center of the living room, there was three paintings of people who lived 200, I don't know how, just pictures of them in the center of the living room. And it was impossible to breathe in this space. I immediately went out. This is it was a house when they grew little children, and this is what they have had in the center of the living room, like paintings of old grandparents, like three generations, yes, generations of old parents hanging on the wall, taking the whole space of the wall. Imagine what an atmosphere. And this is the center, yes, kings. And this is how, in a way, you shape the life of a generation, because you say, look at the wall, who's watching you. I saw also in the British series. Or, yes, there are many I don't want to go in details, yes. But once you put the portraits of the former generations on the wall, whether it's a painting or a picture, and you say, this is your grandpa, and this is your grand-grandpa, and this is your grand-grandpa, and you start, in a way, delivering a story about those people who are completely gone, already 200 years, and then this is a foreign worship. Because a person cannot just be or inhale next to something like this. If you go to a museum, yes, and you see, okay, they tell you, here's going to be let's say, exposition, yes, of portraits. Yes, so with an open mind, you go to the museum to see art, and they tell you this is a portrait of these from the 16th, 17th, or whatever, but it's a visit in a museum. But people, this is what they put on the walls, and this is one reality, and this is how it is. Nobody can say anything about it. And this is how the parents, they speak to the children, and this is they go or they grow with this heaviness of this is the parents, of course, that this is reality. They brought the father and the mothers are kings, and the ancestor before them on the walls are super kings, and so on. Yes. Yes. That's correct. That's correct. So this is a foreign worship. This is very common when you go. I don't visit houses or something, but it is very common reality in people's life that they put portraits of the ancient, of the dead, in the center of the living room or next to the kitchen, and they tell the children or the grandchildren, this is your grandpa or this is your grandpa from this and from that and from. Yes, yes. So we were grown, yes, in the notion if you'll be a good boy or a good girl, you get good grades or something, and existence is unconditional. Existence is unconditional. We inhale, exhale without any conditions, whatever. Because condition or conditioning means duality. And there's non-duality. Existence is not a condition. We inhale and exhale regardless of what is happening. Elaine, yes, the word for nostalgia means homesickness, but because it's about time, it's like being homesick for the past, somewhere we cannot go. Yes, yes, we cannot go to the past, and we cannot visit the future, because both of them are non-existing. What we might have is a flashback or a memory or a picture from something that happened in the past, but this is like kind of a remembrance, and remembrance or image, it just goes with, this is the object that we remember. It's not the whole picture, it's part of the picture. Yes? But both of them are not existing, not the past and not the future. Because where is the past? Can we find it? Is there a special past for someone? Is there a special place on the globe or on planet Earth which is called past, that everybody can go there and find a moment that occurred? We cannot find it. Eve went to the future with a snake. Yes. Yeah. Yes. This is what we're doing all the time. Narration comes with birth. Yes, we are being told. Yes, this couple, yeah, brought you or through them. Yes, and you were born in this day. Yes, this is a story that we are being told. Yes, and if it is repeated, yes, enough, we take it as absolute truth. Yes, but it's not. Also the news, they are feeding us with story. News, breaking news, they tell us this is what is happening. Volcano erupt, how do you say volcano in Hawaii, or there's snow somewhere, or blizzards. This is something which is occurring. This is something which is appearing. Many people, when they exposed to news, even if there's a fire in Australia or so, volcano somewhere, they immediately get a panic attack because they think this is happening to them, even if they watch it beyond the screen of the phone or PC or TV. They feel the moment and they immediately get panic attack. So, and why people open news sections? Because they believe that the news is somewhere else, and there is some kind of a minister that delivers them the news of what is happening in the world. Each and every one of us is alive, yes, inhale, exhale, and what happens or to him or to her in the moment, this is reality that happens. There's a lot of freedom that comes with it, with the notion that we are not in charge of anything. Good morning, Fernando. We're very happy to see you here. Good morning, Universe of God. Shalom, shalom. We hope that you feel better, Fernando. To forget is separation. Yes. To unlearn. Yes. And to unlearn. This is the art. Yes. The art of life is what? To unlearn. To forget. Yes. The art of life is to unlearn. The art of life, or the art of the living, is to unlearn. Yes? To unlearn. Yes. We were taught so many things as children, in kindergarten, in school. They just don't work. And they create like an extra load on the system for us. Yes? Through the education or through, let's say, moving in time with certain people, we got all kinds of influences. And much of it does not work, so we can drop, yes, and just live the moment, because this is what there is. Yes, religious belief. Oh, yeah. This is something. Yes, 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 yes. Many. I read lately. I bought a book. I think it was in the time of the Corona. The book was about a sage who lived in Italy in the 18th century, Luzzatto. Because he was hunted, because he was writing truth, he was hunted by the community of European, the rabbinical community in Europe for writing truth. So during the Corona, a book was written about him, so I bought a book, and I remember the foreword to the book that the professor said that many youngsters who hold religious beliefs are calling him and asking what to do, because they're terrified. From young age they were, were loaded with all kinds of rules and conditions, that if you will go, if you will do, if you will, such simple thing as biological appearance of many things in our lives. In certain religious communities, it is considered to be a sin. And those young children, they're already now young adults, they cannot live. They're so terrified that if there's a drop of something somewhere, they are doomed, and all of them are, sinners. Yes, and they will never go to heaven. This is how they were growing, with those conditions. So they turned to this professor and they were asking for a refuge, that he will speak to them, because they accept what the parents told them or their rabbinical surrounding as absolute truth, but they cannot live with it. And in a way, this was the words that he shared in the foreword to this book, that in a way people, in their drunkenness of thinking that they know something, and the fact that they can govern other people, establish so many rules and so many laws, and those little children, or even innocent people who live next to them, they take the words as absolute. But they grow with a lot of burden and many problems, because they cannot live. Like people live in a way, like carrying a constructia, like construction site on their back, and it does not exist. This is just a cage that the parents put around them, or society, because they were not exposed to life. So many things, in a way, we need to drop or unlearn. And this is it, just drop it. In certain communities, if people do something, it's considered to be that you are a sinner and you will never be forgiven. Just biological functions of the human body. But this is how they catch them, so to speak, in the corner, and they declare on them as sinners. And some people do not know any other reality unless if they ask. Something similar, I think, that Fernando mentioned a couple of weeks ago. So, and people are thinking that their existence is dependent on the parents. Yes, because sometimes parents are overriding the parenthood, and they make themselves like godparents. Yes, like without them nobody can live, without them nobody can be fed, and the children are buying into this story. So this is in a way what makes even the biological parents, even God parents in their lives, before that they are gone, before that they are dead. There's a great danger in it. All these cultures of, yes, all the cultures of shahidim and yeah. Living life is very simple. Living pure life is very simple, because there isn't much load coming in. It's like breathing. We don't learn how to breathe. This is how it is happening. So, but when we feel heavy, or this is heavy for us, at the moment that we feel heaviness, is probably we are thinking or we are charged with something. Something goes in the mind, yes, or a thought, and suddenly we feel the heaviness of life. So if we feel heaviness, this is not existence, this is not being, this is something, some kind of a construction site that we're carrying on our back. There is, in a way, appearance of a body we call birth. Disappearance of a body we call death. This is how we grew to frame those 2 points. But there's just existence. There is existence which is dressed in a body, and the body gets a name at birth. So there's a John and there's Mary, yes, but there's existence. Therefore, existence is unconditional. Questions or thoughts that you would like to share? There is a verse in Hebrew that says, En od milvado, En od milvado. There is nothing beyond the one. En od milvado. There's nothing beyond the one. There's only one. And truth is one. And existence is one. If we feel or we sense some kind of heaviness or disturbance or animosity, this is not existence, and this is not who we are. This is like a train of thought that took a ride on us. Yes, we were used as transportation. Yes, there are many thoughts. If we could record all the thoughts that are going through us in 24 hours, look at the log of thoughts which are crossing, because it's very fast. It's a lot. So sometimes, yes, Fernando, please. Yes, you can click. I just try to open it. Yes. Here. I opened it. Hello? Can you unmute and speak, Fernando? Hello?
Almighty and
Hello.
friends, how are you doing?
Thank you. How do you feel, Fernando? Do you feel better?
Yes, thank you. Much better now,
Good.
but almost 100%.
Good. Good to hear.
Feeling okay. I'm happy to be here.
We are happy to host.
It,
Yes.
it is beautiful what you are sharing and about this Einod Melvadot. I am happy that yesterday I could read like some few pages and I read about the golden calf, this episode of the golden calf. It was a writing from Buber, I think, but it was an approach very much like what you are speaking, because we know that in the book, if you uh, may I share this, I'm willing to share what I read because it helps me to make sense as well.
Sure.
May I share it? Can I
Sure.
enter in
Definitely.
this story?
Definitely.
Um, the book, he speaks that we know that in the book of Zohar, it speaks that the Bible starts with the letter Bet, that is the binary, the Bereshit, and the unity comes with the Torah, with the Mount Sinai, when Moses receives the Torah, and we have the letter Aleph in the Anohi, right? I am Hashem,
Yes.
a God that saves you from the Egypt, right?
Yes.
So it seems that our life is also this journey to the Aleph, this journey to the unity, that there is no duality. And in this book, the author is speaking that during that time that Moses was climbing the Mount Sinai to receive the message from God, all the people were fasting and, uh, like cleaning the their vessels to receive this unity. And while Moses was in the Mount Sinai, all the people could not hold this unity. It was like they made the golden calf is to because they could not bear this idea of that everything is one. So you need some rules, you need to stay in a tradition and to to have a guidance. And this author was making some parallel ideas that before Babylonian times, some people had this ability to connect directly with God, like being in contact with this unity, not with a commandant, let's say, but to feel the connection, to feel free from everything. So to feel free from everything, you need also to release your possessions. You need to release your attachment to people, your attachment to things. And from releasing this attachment, you can feel love because it's different, love and attachment. But usually, we and people in general cannot bear this freedom, let's say. So we make the golden calf. We need to follow a leader or we need to follow a book of rules. I don't know it. What do you think about this, or if you think that this is a right way to look at this story or not, or
It
I don't
is a
know. What
great.
do you
It is
feel
excellent.
about it?
Thank you, Fernando. This is an excellent story about the golden calf that people cannot hold the unity, so immediately they go for something which is familiar, something which is tangible, something that they can hold. Yes, they can see to the senses. They move to the senses, like the golden calf is something that is sensible. You can see, you can touch, and so, or something in non-duality or enod milvado. There's nothing beyond him or being or truth. People cannot hold into this because it means barely holding on nothing or not having any attachment to anything, not to people, not to objects. People cannot hold. Uh, they cannot help being only. It's the first threat for for humanity to just be. Yes, this is interesting. A few things. Yes, Fernando, would you like to say something?
Just to add one note from what I read that it is possible, right, to feel this when we are contemplating or when we are making poems or making music or dancing
Yes,
or taking care of the garden. You can
yes,
feel this connection if you are aware. But people lost this as well. So they go to narcotics. That is the let's say the easy way to assess, but the wrong way to assess it,
Yes,
maybe.
yes. It's they don't even assess it. They reach the other side. They don't go to heavens with a narcotic. They go to hell. Yes, narcotic does not bring someone to heaven. Drug users, alcohol users, it doesn't bring them to heaven. Not at all. A sense of control and yes. Something happened yesterday. It's interesting that you mentioned a connection to nature, Fernando. We are riding bicycles in the field. Thank you so much for sharing the moment. It is very important, of course. And at this time of the year, there's an oatmeal. Grows naturally without planting. This is the species that God brings. Somehow nature brings it. So we were with bicycles next to the field. It was afternoon, like 5 or so, like the time that we meet every day. And it was, wow, oatmeal. So I stopped the bicycle and then I approached the field just to look from close. And there was such a sense of love. It just from nothing, just open field. And the field itself was, maybe they prepare it for plowing or something. But at the edge of the field, there was like oatmeal, very sensitive oatmeal growing. And I approached it, just, what is this? And it was the silence of the field and the nothingness. It is just to look at the oatmeal from close, and you feel so much love from nothing. Because love is nothing. For people or humanity think that love is something, yes? Something that can hold or you can get. No, love is nothing. We call it in Hebrew, ahavat chinam is free love, but it means basically nothing. That you look at the oatmeal and this whole nature is silent, and just you feel this, how soft it is, how love and life is so soft, because there isn't any foreign element. So I ask myself, why do we go, let's say, between people, and we feel this grudge, and why people are, sometimes us, being driven. But life and love is nothing. And it's, yes, Tehina means freedom and grace. Tehina is like to pray. Tehina, like something, tachanun. This is what Moses said. Tachanun, tehina is like to ahavat chinam. Yes, freedom. Ahavat chinam, free love. Ahavat chinam. This is not with something. Usually we think that is free. Chinam, ahavat chinam. Free love, it means, what is free? There is no conditions. You don't need to bring something. Yes? People go to a birthday, so they bring present, or they would like to bring to someone or to get something. And this is what people call love. If I get what I want, or Christmas list, or this is love. No. Love is free. Life is free. There is no condition. You just stand in the field. What? Just nothing. There's no conditions. You don't need to prepare. You don't need to light a candle. You don't need to, prepare all kinds. You don't need. There is no preconditions to love. Love just exists. This is it. And it's so soft. It is beautiful, the story with the golden calf, because everyone wants to hold this teddy bear, so to speak, yes, or the golden calf. And when we hold something, yes, we feel, if we have something in the hand, we call it love. This is basically gravity, yes, to hold something, yes. Love in life is nothing. There aren't preconditions, yes, for love. Does not need conditions. Life as well. We always, and this is what happens to us and how we usually fall with the thoughts. We think, if I'm gonna get better, I will be better writer, better composer, better teacher, better something, yes, better painter. Only if I become better painter, only then, yes, not now at the moment, then when I should be a good painter, I could live or experience love. This is not true. There is no conditions. And we don't need to become someone or to be someone. There is love, life exists, and this is free. It doesn't demand anything. If people sometimes, how do you say, late for work, and they don't put a card in the right, how do you say, show with the card, or passing the card like a credit card on time, they are being told you're not in time. They get word you're not in time. So, no, there isn't something like this in life. So last night I didn't sleep at all. So you awake. So what? So you awake. This is love. People would say I'm not asleep and therefore my day is ruined or so. No, this is love and this is life. And sometimes you awake all night long, and this is it. It was so intense yesterday. Just a split of a moment. And it was so intense. Yes, and in a way, our journey is from the two to the one. Yes, from the two to duality to the one. This is the journey. And it's a beautiful journey because many, many things are falling during the way. We don't need them. There aren't any need to hold memories, so this is a lot of energy for the CPU to hold in the memory some kind of a picture that happened a while ago. If it happened or not, we don't know, but there is no need to hold anything, yes, or to long for something that was, because life is happening now while breathing, and everything is now. There aren't any prerequisites for love. Yes, this is life and love, just happening. Another example, we were taught in school how to prepare seeds. You put them on, how to say, cotton, and then you water the cotton, and then you wait a few weeks, and then they grow sprouts, and then you go to the land. We used to do this all the time. Nothing came out. This winter, I had a seed of avocado. So what to do with it? I don't want to put it in the garbage. So put it in the flower pot. And now we have half a tree without intention, without an education. So we started the conversation with unlearn, yes, or non-doing, that we are not the doers. Yes, there is no personal doership. It just happened, there's a seed of avocado and suddenly there's a tree. Suddenly there's oatmeal. Nobody put this oatmeal. Who knows how million years this earth exists, planet earth, and the oatmeal just there. love. Avocado from where? There's a tree from where? There's a kitten in the yard from where? No, we didn't do anything. Okay. Of course, this perception of heaven and hell, this is duality. Yes. Yes. If there's hell is only in the man's mind, yes, or brain, there isn't any place on earth. Yes, Cindy, there are moments that resonate from the past, for instance. Yes. 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 I see. I see. Yes. When you go through hard moments, yes. I see. It is also, Cindy, to understand that if we can accept that those moments in a way are not ours, that we experience and we think that they are ours. Yes. Yes, I understand the moment. Yes. We move. Or life, as they move through us. Yes. Or something is occurring through us. Or happening through us. Yes, but it's not something to hold on. It's good to remember a good relation of someone. Yes. Good. Life is occurring through us. Or happening through us. We are like, in a way, channels. Yes. And the stream of life is moving through us. And by just being here, inhaling, exhaling, the life is happening. Yes, and just inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale, yes. And nothing is private. Though we tend to think that certain experiences are private or personal, it's not. And there's a lot of relief in it. Because it's not something personal that happens to someone. As a system, life on earth is system. David in the book of Samuel says that before he's gonna stand in front of Goliath, he calls the life on earth, David, Ma'arachot, systems of living God. Ma'arachot Elohim Chaim, systems of living God. Yes, those are systems. It's not personal. It doesn't build on one person. Those are systems of living God. System, planet Earth is system, vegetation, all of this, oxygen, us humans, animals, oceans, dolphins, birds, butterflies, Ma'arachot Elohim Chaim, systems of living God. Yes, and this is it. It's not private. There's a lot of relief in it. And with this beautiful saying by David, I would like to seal this conversation. Unless if you have questions or things to share, you're most welcome. And thank you everyone for being here. Eniola, Abigail, Erin, Fernando, Yanis, Cindy, Universe of God. We wish you a good ride or driving the car in safety. And we hope to see you here soon on Saturday if you have the time. We shall be here at 5 o'clock p.m. Yes, Israel time, and I think that Canada is 9 p.m. in the morning. No, not 9 a.m. Sorry, it's 9 in the morning in Canada. Yes, 9 a.m. Thank you so much and see you soon. Toda and shalom.